Hi from Nick.
Hi from Martin.
And today we're going to assess a property, 2-bedroom, semi-detached house in Brookdale Park in Crewe. So let's get into it. I'm going to just start sharing my screen, and there's Martin, and here's that house. Obviously, it's a very new build. I would imagine it's 2000s, like 2000
exactly 2000 is the year of build.
So you got this little slopey garden. They've tried to tidy up the grass because obviously pre-sale it was probably a bit of a mess, but anyway, fine. And nice kitchen, original I expect, and original tiling, original everything, untouched, and all reasonably nice. Let's have a look at that floor plan. As ever with these kind of properties, they're tight on the space. So do you have any idea how many square meters this is?
It's 2 bedrooms, 58 meters square.
So that's tight, isn't it? So yeah. 70, like a 2-bedroom terraced would often be what, 65 to 70, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
So they really squeeze you in here, don't they? But that's okay. The space is optimized. It's just you don't have much space. But I think for a lot of people who are renting, they will compromise on space if the location is up to it. Anyway, let's have a look at some of the pictures and see what we got. Combi boiler, great. Modern, great. Fuse board, not so modern, but that's okay. It should be passable. Electricity meter, video, gas meter. Okay. Altogether, all looks okay. I wonder if that's a new boiler. I think it might be. I suspect a 20-year-old boiler wouldn't quite cut it, but they've probably spent a bit of money on something new. Okay, so that's good. Now let's have a look at the video and see what we got. It doesn't. Okay, no videos. Fair enough. Let's see if we can find it elsewhere. Nope. All right. Well, I'm not too concerned because really there is no major condition issue with this property. It's very clean. So let's just check here. I'm just going to go over this again a bit more carefully. Can you see any videos from them?
Yeah, I'm checking right now.
Broadly, at most, this is going to need a painting.
Yeah.
Do you have video?
Yeah, it have. I guess you just download the photos. Yes, it have 2 videos. I can share my screen.
Could you? I quite like the double glazing. I assume that's UPVC. It looks like it. Small property.
Yeah, but roof.
Yeah, roof's okay. That's just got moss, I think. I'll just double check on the maps.
He's talking that he cannot see any problems with the roof.
Yeah, it's fine, I think. These concrete tiled roofs last an extremely long time. Yep. All looks pretty straightforward. But then that's why you would buy a property like this just because you expect no issues.
So no problems with the bricks or so.
Yeah.
I like this, how he analyzed the property and what he's talking. So.
Okay, so we've got external. That's where the pictures for the gas meter and the thing came from, obviously. Not very much privacy.
Yeah.
In the garden.
Not the best garden.
No, but then people buy property or occupy properties like this not for the privacy or whatever. It's just the equivalent of an apartment, but you've got a garden and you've basically got your own little space.
Yeah, it's like.
And it suits renters in a way because renters don't have much stuff. So a little house like this doesn't have too much stuff in it. It'll feel fine.
Yeah.
The only issue with a lot of these more modern properties is compromises on location and compromises on location.
I think there is nothing what we can see.
So what often happens is they get built in land that was obviously never built on before, or it's brownfield land, and then you go from there. So, okay, let's have a look at this. Big, long video. I think we're going to need to jump through some of this because so you can look at the video yourself later.
Yeah, I already sent.
Yeah, it's very tidy. It might need painting and decorating, maybe a bit of neutralizing, but
yeah, maybe just the one bedroom, but the smaller, the kids' bedroom.
I think these kind of properties represent good, solid value, assuming that the rest of it stacks up.
The carpets are old. Yeah, but they're okay.
But if they're acceptable, then you probably wouldn't change them, actually.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a new build, so the doors looks okay.
Yeah, it's this classic kind of pressed panel cardboard doors, very light.
Yeah, and it's professional paint that you can see.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah, it all works. The whole trick with living in a property like this, just don't own much stuff. There's someone just mooching around. Yeah, there's very little to talk about here on condition. All right, is that kind of it? I think it is.
Yeah, the kitchen is nice.
Yeah, you wouldn't touch that kitchen. You might just tweak a couple of doors and make sure they sit right, because you can see some doors are slightly ill-fitting, but it's kind of a non-issue, basically.
Let's see what the reports say. We don't really consider this, but you see the star condition excellent. Clean, so everything's perfect.
He likes. But do we? That's the question. Do we like it?
Yeah.
We don't know yet, because it's not just the house. It's it's all the other stuff that goes around it. Yeah. All right. So with that in mind, let's get into the rest of the story here. And as ever with these property assessments, I don't know what the story is yet, because I haven't looked at that little area, so how would I know? And it's always taken from scratch, as it were. So the first thing I would say is more crime than I would have expected, but I think that's because the catchment is something to do with this park.
Yeah.
So I think that's fine. And yeah, it's fine. It's a very quiet area. What a nice little spot though beside all of this. That's really, if you like green, you're in the right spot. Question is it close to, it's got quite a lot of this kind of stuff going on here, light industrial.
Yeah, walking to the main train station is 27 minutes.
We've also got a noisy go-kart track here. I don't know whether they use petrol go-karts or not. And of course, you've got all the railways nearby. But this is a railway junction, and therefore you're not going to get a lot of sound. You're gonna hear diesel trains go blah, 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 like this, but it's not like you've got a high-speed double-tracked track going like that beside you. So good. All right, so you're close to a lot of industrial, but anyway, Martin, you're going to get into all of that.
Yeah.
Now let's have a look at this. There's a lot of local authority around here, And then you've got the higher level demographics here. So it's quite difficult to really work out the demographics because this would be owner occupied basically. But the main things of interest, quite a lot of private rented, quite middle to lower. So this little patch here would be the middle to higher, I would say.
Yeah.
Because you've got proximity to the park and all of that. So I think it's kind of middle class, basically. So that's okay. Then we've got the capital gain. What's going on around here? Well, some very strange things happening. You can see you've got a couple of hotspots here. So let's just quickly look at this and see what's going on. The reason I just want to see if there's something anomalous, i.e. there's something weird happening, or whether it's just a lot of people buying into these areas and therefore you're seeing a lot of growth. And all right, well, it's interesting in that this area has hit the 2007 peak, but the period before 2007 didn't see much growth at all. It was very quiet, but it's not really representative of what we're interested in. So what happened around here? Well, I would say that our growth story is probably more tied in with this area just because the housing quality. We'll have a look at the other one in a second, but overall, moderate growth, 5% above inflation. That's good. And it crashed harder than a lot of areas crashed, 15%, but 8% nominal. So that's okay, actually. And it's still under the 2007 high, which is good when you adjust for inflation. And overall, what do I see for the future? Well, let's just have a quick look at this. The market crashed severely around here in the last crash, and I assume that that's something to do with all this local authority housing getting overbought, and which is unusual. I would say it is going to, it is way under, but the thing is that this area isn't representative of this whole catchment. So like I said, that's why I'm not referencing that. So overall, this is my frame of reference, and I would say based on what I'm seeing generally, you're going to see capital gain here, probably another let's say over the next 3 years, probably another 20%. So it'll probably keep in pace with inflation, if not slightly above it. And it will probably crash not that severely because there's quite good value here. So really the big question is just how will the overall economy for Crewe do? It'll do okay. It's not like Doncaster or other more prosperous tier 2 cities. It's fairly robust, but there's huge sales and rental demand at the moment, especially huge rental demand. And I think if you think about the bird in the hand, two in the bush and all of that idea, then these kind of properties will be excellent for renting because renters travel light, it's small, it's modern, it's warm, it's dry, it's cheap to run, it's low crime, and you're beside loads of parkland. Well, yeah, it's just like there you go. So over to you, Martin.
I will share my screen again. First, we'll talk about the year of build, 58 square, last sold 98,000 in 2015. And yeah, so EPCC 73 score, which is amazing. So basically, you don't need to worry about anything about the EPC. And anyway, it needs to improve the low lighting energy. So maybe you need to change some light. But that's it. And maybe you need to paint in one of the bedrooms. That's all what you need. The red colors, maybe just make it white, and that's all.
Mm.
And about the flood risk, it's medium risk, and usually medium risk is covered by insurance. And river and the sea, very low risk. Anyway, the property, as we saw on the street view, it's a little bit on the soil. So how much the water need to come to be a risk for this property? So I don't see any risk. That's my point. Also, just because it's close to the Brook, Valley Brook, so that's why it have like medium. What we can see on the map. Yeah, just because of the Brook.
But as you say, it's elevated, so it's
no, I don't see any issue. So the insurance will cover that. And Crewe is outside from the circle of the coal mining risk, so basically your safety about that. And location, as Nick said, like it's really close to the Queen's Park. So the location is like, if you love green space, and yeah, you will love this place. And also, as you can see here, a lot of new builds coming in. It's not really close, but it's showing that this area here is developing. The only like a issue about it, you have a lot of schools around. The only like a issue with this property is the supermarket. You don't have huge supermarket, but you have 10 minutes walking or less, 24-hour open market and gas station, which is amazing. And you are enough far away, so you will not have any issue with the mortgage. Because
and by the way, that's not a go-karting track, it's a bicycle track. Great.
Yeah.
So it's nice and quiet.
Yeah, it's really nice. So it's really, and you have a lot of parking here. You can park on, you have private, and also you can park on the other side. So, which is amazing. And also when you will see, you have like a dead end here. So also, I wanted to see if you have access to the brook here, but no. So, and also to the train station to go here, it's around 25, 28 minutes walking.
With and what's the public transport?
Transport, it was 18 minutes. So depends. You can see that, and you have a bus station here. So not really close, but you have also a bus station here. So yeah, the issue is that you cannot, you must make circle. So, but it's still okay. And for comparables, for sale, as you can see, this one is sold in 2021 for 21,3250, and this one for 96. So this is like big change, and in the same year, one is in February, one is August, but this one in November in 2019 was sold for 210. Also 2-bedroom, 102, 94 in 2016. So you can see
the high-priced one is the anomaly. So obviously people started, I don't know. Yeah. There was some kind of bidding war going on with that one.
Yeah, I guess, and I don't see exactly what's going on. So it's same type of property, even not the garden is a little bit more better organized, but I don't know why. And the bathroom is not it's, I can say, not in the best condition. The kitchen it doesn't have the cabinet in the top. It's smaller, so I don't know what happened with this one.
But you can see a lot of transactions for that. And our specimen property, what's the transaction history?
I will just back here. Number 18. So 2000, 2005, 2015. But you can
I think these kind of houses are pass-through houses, i.e. people they buy them because they can afford them, and then they make some money, they pass through.
Yeah, okay, so you can see it was green, now it's white, so they renovated. Yeah. And this now it's red, and you can see what kind of color. So basically they improved the property. And also this was red, now it's, you can see the kitchen is white now. It's like, and they changed and also I think they changed the carpets as well. So yeah, the people who lived from 2015 to 2000 now, they improved the property, basically. They invest some money in it, which is
very good.
For comparables, as you can see, like 2 bedrooms, semi-detached house, 125 asking, 160 with a garage, even older, 140, 125, the one who was sold for 132. 140, 140,
Ah,
140.
that's interesting. So
120.
offered at 125, sold at
No,
132.
this is no, sorry. This one's from 120 and for 1325.
Right. This is what always interests me, the relationship between the
and
ask
you
and
can,
the
and you can see this is currently advertised on the same in 125, and I don't know how much it sold. It's still on the go. I don't know how much it was. They changed it in black.
Okay.
But they have better
examples? Any other examples of properties where we've got the ask and the sale price here, comparable properties?
Yes, I'm checking. Yeah, same as the asking, but 2021.
Yeah, but different quality, different type of house.
120.
They're all going slightly,
okay.
yeah.
120, 117.
So my read on this is, just excluding yield and all of that,
yeah,
I would say you would have to go 5 grand above the ask.
Yeah. Yeah, because
so,
it's
yeah,
a new build.
If
If it was a new build, you can go around the asking price, but I think for this one, the asking price 125.
Yeah,
I think
the market's shifted. So, so the just on valuations and so on. Speaking with the agent just now, there have been about 30 viewings. 32 inquiries, probably about 20 viewings, 6 offers. But what you find in kind of tier 2 markets like this, tier 2 minus market, so tier 2 would be Doncaster, something like that, tier 1 Manchester, that people are not as punchy on the offer prices. So yes, you'll get a lot of offers, but you're not going to get well above the ask as you have in Manchester, essentially. So it's interesting. So what about the rent?
The rent, as you can see in the 2020, every new property what come on the market 750 is asking, but previous year you have 625, 550, 625, 600, 700.
So if you look just generally 2 beds in Crewe in something fairly modern, what would that be?
I think around 700 will be the rent.
Yeah.
Or 675. But I think so, because until you complete and until you have completion and so on, basically, I think it will end 700 because the rental market is shifting a lot. Yeah, and it's
and it's intense. It's intense there. I can see it. Just the data shows us.
Yeah, it's in Crewe, the market is really increasing. So, and if you go with just to say, if you go with 3 beds, so maybe it will show you like 2 beds, 3 beds, 860, same new type of property.
Okay, so we reckon, should we do the calcs on this then?
I think 700 will be the rent.
Okay, great.
The scores.
Scores on the doors, and we're saying 130,000 just to be sensible.
Yeah.
And we're saying renovation, well, it really doesn't need any. So
1,000.
Yeah, exactly. It needs to tidy up, a bit of painting, bit of deck touching up, that's it. And for the rent?
700.
6.4.
Yeah, but Crewe is all about yield. It's not about.
It is, but I think increasingly Crewe will be about capital gain, certainly for the next part of the cycle. And in theory, the idea is that you.
Evan, let's put 675 for the rent. Evan, if this rent for 675.
Sorry, 675. It's such a good renter, though, this kind of property.
Yeah, even if 650, you will have around 6%. So, but I think it will rent 700 for sure. But I'm just saying that if the market collapses in the renting 650, again, it will give you 6% of yield, which is great for the new build.
Yeah, so the capital growth isn't great, relatively speaking, or hasn't been in CW2, but that I think that's going to shift, actually, just because people are looking for more value. So all right, scores. So condition.
Very good.
3, 4.3, we'll say.
Yeah, something like 4. Yeah. A location, 3.8. It's not really central, but it's nice.
Area.
It's 3.9, 4. That's 4.
Yeah, it's a nice enough area if you like a bit of green space and quietness.
Crime is low just because of the park. It's higher, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Demographics are.
Demographic.
Yeah, they are good,
Good.
because new builds usually have really good demographics.
Capital growth, I'm going to give it 3.8. I don't think it's a dead cert, but I think it promises to be good because there's a huge kind of long-term rebalancing of that market going on, I think.
Yeah.
And what I find is that the markets I'm just going to show you this very quickly. Property markets go in long-term cycles, obviously 18-year cycles, etc. But also what I see constantly is a rebalancing. So in other words, if an area got overbought in the last boom, then it tends to be weaker on this boom. Conversely, if it was weak here and never quite recovered, then there's a lot of headroom because there's still a lot of affordability, assuming that the local economy hasn't collapsed. And we can assume that. So that's good. All right. So where are we at? Master template. How much of them? And what are the scores? The scores on the doors are.
No, for the yield is 4.2. It's really good yield.
Yeah. Have I just lost my? Sorry, I've just kind of lost the thing. Hang on. Okay. Sorry about this.
Maybe auto tab.
No. I just kind of bear with me if you will. We can find this again. So it is here. It must be here. So let's just go back. There we go. Found the deal score. Ooh. All right. You can see we have a lot of these, by the way.
Yeah.
That's why these are good, because we've done so many of these. We kind of know where we're at with them all. Okay. Yield. Really very good. What would you give it?
4.2.
Yeah, funnily enough, so would I.
Yeah, it's good yield. That's why this property is a little bit more about yield than the capital growth, but it will still have a capital growth. So.
Yeah, it's good. Now, why isn't it scoring? It should score. I don't know why it's not. But
yeah, but I think it's around 4. So it's.
Yeah. Sorry about this. We should be getting a score here, and I don't know why it isn't. The thing about Skype is that, oh yeah, here we go. It's finally done it. Okay. And, or has it done it? Okay. Sorry about this. We have lots of machinery. Oh, I see the issue. Okay. I'm just going to make this smaller. It may look simple on the outside, but it's complicated on the inside, and it works quite well.
Oh,
all right, we should get a score out of this. If we don't,
3.98, something like this.
No, this is for the other one. I don't know why it's not doing it. I have to look at that. There's some issue. I'll deal with it. But anyway, all right.
But you can see that we give a lot of good scores.
Yeah. Oh, did it do it? It finally did it. 4. It got a 4 out of 5. Nice.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
Yeah. I'll just hide that because this stuff, these columns in the middle aren't so good. Yeah, it's a good score. And in summary, then we've got a 4 out of 5. That's actually quite a decent score. All right. Yep. Well, final summary then.
I really like it. I like new builds.
So do I.
So, yeah.
And I think it's just represents a nice solid investment for which will rent out to nice solid tenants in an area that's not completely crazy yet. And therefore I think it's got decent growth potential. As compared to somewhere like Manchester, lots of bits of Manchester are great, but too many places like Salford, Swindon, Stockport, they're just getting too aggressively overbought. Now, not a huge problem, but it's just that the higher the prices go, the less the yields work. And so, you know, as an investor, you make a trade. You want some cash return. You want a lot of capital growth. Which way do you go? So anyway, I think this is a nice property, and hopefully you'll make an offer.
Yeah,
Anything,
I like it.
your final comment?
Yeah, I don't know how much it should be the offer, but I think at least a little bit more than the asking price.
Well, it's all about the yield. So the yield works in theory. Well, we need to put an offer number here. So let's just do this because we need to give guidance on that.
Yeah, but I think maximum 132.5. I'm starting with 1 foot.
It's all about the yield, what yield you're prepared to accept. So if you're a foreign national buyer at 4-point-something% return and you want to be cash positive, then you have to be looking at around 5%, 6% thereabouts. So in theory, you could outbid everyone, go up to 135 without any real issue, and be pretty confident that you're going to get your necessary yield to make the deal work.
Yeah, that will be the maximum what I will pay, but I think maybe we can take it for 130.
Yeah. Well, we just got to get in the ring and see where this goes. All right.
Yeah. Let us know what you do next. Thank you.
Thank you.